Elections are the most integral part of a democracy, and how those elections held are equally important. Good morning, everyone, respected sir, and all my dear friends. Today I am here to present my views on the topic One Nation, One Election. So, recently, the cabinet approved the recommendation by the COVID committee on One Nation, One Election. So, my dear friend, what is One Nation, One Election? It is the election of Lok Sabha, and State Assembly, as well as municipalities, panchayat, all election are being held together. So when I talk about the history of One Nation, One Election, my dear friend, it is not new in India. And in the general election 1952 till 1967, we had the same One Nation, One Election. And even many recommendations from Election Commission 1983, Law Commission in 1999, Law Commission in 1919, as well as from the Niti Aayog, from the Parliamentary Standing Committee in 2018 has proposed the idea of One Nation, One Election. So my dear friend, what are the advantages of One Nation, One Election? First of all, when we are talking about the advantage, I think it is going to save the time as well as the money of political parties as well as individual. Second is lot of security forces are required for an election to be held. I think that should be saved and they can be used for the security purpose. And third is like a person, a migrant worker working in a Delhi, and he is a resident of Uttarakhand. So he might be not going for the election of his state assembly or municipalities or panchayat. But if there will be One Nation, One Election, so for one time he can go and can uh, save his money also. And the third one is, and the fourth is like when we talk about the model code of conduct in our country, what we see lot of development project at that time stopped, and the political parties are more busy in the elections. Like we can see in every month we have election in any state or in any part of the country. So that time can be saved and the more governance can be done by the government. So, but at the same time, there are the disadvantages also. Like my dear friends, due to the rise of regional parties today, what we see that today, if the One Nation, One Election will be there, I think the national issue will dominate the regional issues. And the second is lot of logistic is required. Like for the EVM, VVPATs, I think we require a lot of logistic in that. And the third is educating people. Like it's being along like it was in 1967 when we had One Nation, One Election. I think today we are going. It will take a lot of time or efforts to educate the people. Like we have to vote for different person in Lok Sabha and different person in State Assembly. And the fourth one is the ease of a politician. I think they will be free for 5 years and they will not visit and they will not solve the problem of society by visiting the village, by visiting the society as well as asking the problem and solution of that problem. To solve the disadvantage of One Nation, One Election, the recommendation of COVID committee is very much they have suggested something like they have suggested the amendment in the Article 82, amendment in the Article 172, and adding the Article 182A. They have also suggested the municipalities as well as panchayat election will be held 100 days within the election of state assembly as well as Lok Sabha. Means they have suggested the election in two phases. One, the Lok Sabha and state assembly. Second, municipalities and panchayat. They have also suggested the idea for the dissolution of any state assembly. Like if the state assembly got dissolved in that period of time, the election will be held for the remaining period of time. Like it has dissolved after 2 years, so fresh election will be held only for 3 years of time. And when I talk about the criticism faced by the committee, I would like to say that most of the people believe that even One Nation, One Election was not a idea of our constitutional maker, because during the emergency provision we have seen that president has a power to dissolve the state assembly. And even the criticism was that it was the committee formed by the government of India and the Prime Minister of India, not by the Election Commission of India. And the third is One Nation, One Election uh, or harm the federalism of the structure of our country. Like it will become more centric as well as unitary structure of a constitution. And the fourth one is like one nation one election will like it will be limit for the people of India, like they will be have wait for the 5 minutes for the voting or for the elections. So it will create a, it will not be a election, and that can choose their party. So I just want to say that even though its criticism are there, also the advantage and disadvantages are there. But it's being a long journey from money booth capturing, from misuse of government official, as well as the misuse of money power. So it's being a long journey, and today we are having technology in the terms of election. So I believe that definitely there is a reforms are needed in the election of India, and the electoral reforms include anti-defection, as well as the reform include first past and the first system. I just want to say that at the end of my topic, that most of the parties have arises in the conclusion and support the one nation one election, but they are concerned about how it will be done. And the only way I believe, and that is the only way, it will be through the consensus, and that consensus to prevail, to make our democracy more stronger, and that consensus to preserve the health of a democracy, and that consensus to make our democracy more vibrant. Thank you.
Our former our former Chief Election Commissioner, Mr. S.Y. Qureshi, has mentioned that simultaneous elections will reduce democratic accountability. Your comments.
Sir, as the former Chief Election Commissioner has mentioned, but I would like to say that even this time in 2024, we have the simultaneous election with the Lok Sabha, and 4 states were also there in the part of that. I think that can be that example can we have, like we can create that type of environment in our country, and it was there in our countries, like in the year when we got independence and when we had a first general election. So why don't we can have this right now? That is the point.
Good morning, Santosh. Since India has the lengthiest constitution in the world, one nation, one election comes a challenge to implement. So, what do you think is solution for it?
See, definitely, we have a lengthiest constitution, but when we are talking about implementation of the one nation, one election, I think all the political parties should have or should come together and debate in the parliament. And what I believe that the consensus, which I have told, and I think we require such electoral reforms in our country. Like definitely, the last month we had the Lok Sabha election, and now still we can see the elections in the Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana are going. So see, look, at that time model code of conduct was there for the Lok Sabha election, and today they have the model code of conduct for the state assembly. So see, it is creating obstacles for the development of the country or development of the state. I think it is challenging, but it is the need of time.